This gang's torture and ransom of 3 drug dealers was so horrifying it was dubbed as the worst the court had ever seen. In one of the most shocking cases to come before the courts, a gang in South Sheilds subjected 3 men to hours of brutal torture using a blowtorch, corrosive substances, and a shovel. The victims, lured to a garage on Fowler Street on September 18th last year, were held captive and tortured as part of a blackmail plot demanding £20,000. Craig Seals, 37, Daniel Lake, 33, Cassim Thompson, 35, Ian Sutherland, 33, Grant McLean, 24, Jonathan Ferguson, 31, and Samantha Olson, 36, all pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including false imprisonment and blackmail. 2 others, Jonathan Mason, 35, and Liam Price, 30, pleaded guilty to affray. The case, which took place at Newcastle Crown Court, was described as one of the most brutal the court had seen. The gang eventually allowed one of the victims to leave to collect the cash, but when no money was found, he was taken back to the garage and subjected to further violence. After hours of torture, the men were finally released on the condition they pay £20,000 within 2 days. The aftermath was devastating. 2 of the victims fled to Manchester in fear for their lives. They were treated at a hospital for severe injuries, including burns, fractured ribs, a punctured lung, and head trauma. The 3rd victim was treated locally at South Tyneside Hospital for his injuries, which included swelling, bruising, and fractures. Despite the terrifying ordeal, Seals, who owned the garage, claimed he was unaware of the torture plans and only agreed to help under the condition the victims could leave if they paid the ransom. The court heard that while Seals had no involvement in drugs, he facilitated the attack by offering the use of his car for the plot. Other defendants offered similar claims of limited involvement. Olson, who drove the victims, was said to have been manipulated due to her vulnerability. Sutherland, a mechanic at the garage, claimed he did not use weapons and did not intend to cause harm. Thompson insisted he was merely present and had no personal issues with the victims. As the case was adjourned for sentencing, it remains clear that the victims of this vicious and premeditated attack will be haunted by the events of that night for a long time to come.